I have some
shoutcasts. Generals, gentlemen.
Hello lovely fans and welcome to another episode of Generals Gentlemen. As always, I am ArchonHawk.
And I'm Onage Machine, and we are back once again, the original duo. For those of you who've been following my posts and whatnot, I've been doing a lot of double casts with Cybert and with Squoggle, basically everyone except ArchonHawk.
Which makes me very sad, and I have missed you guys a lot.
And that's because he doesn't actually have internet at home, which does make shoutcasting rather difficult, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
Okay, so today we have another 1.6 match for 0 Hour. On the north we have Hiryu as the USA Vanilla.
And down the bottom we have Opsnyder as the China Nuke, I think I saw
That
it
is
before.
correct, he is China Nuke. And the thing is with Hiryu, who's Ruptured Duck Online, I'm quite a fan. I'm very, very good fan of him. The reason why that is because he is very, very well acquainted with 1.6. He understands the game really well, and why I like that is because it means that he actually adapts and he uses all these unusual, quirky things that most players in 1.6 do not. So he actually adapts quite well and handles different situations with 1.6 changes.
Okay, here we have Hiryu going for an early war factory and airfield, and Opsnyder going for a middle barracks to take control of the garrisons, and taking out the garrisons on the other side, and also a middle supply. Yeah,
it's actually, taking out the garrisons is very important, because then it makes it so much easier for you to hold them if you have the garrisons and your opponent does not.
So going for triple supplies here down the bottom for Opsnyder.
Yeah, really early triple supply. That could be quite vulnerable if Hiryu does actually manage to harass that. But he hasn't actually gone for Rockvies this time, which would be a good thing to do. He's actually going for a Paladin and some Crusaders though, so it looks like he is positioning them around in order to intercept any Gatling tanks that would come to harass his Chinooks.
Which is a good move there, but Opsnyder coming in with a Battlemaster through the left flank, and we see a Raptor up from Hiryu.
Yeah, a Raptor is going to be the ideal counter to Battlemasters, which is actually rather fortunate that he did get a Battlemaster, which is a little bit confusing as opposed to why that was not a Gatling, because Battlemasters, cannot harass Chinooks, but he probably was actually going for a dozer hunt. Nuke Battlemasters are so good at dozer hunting because of their fast movement speed, and then also the detonate they do when they're about to die.
Yeah, so interesting. Yeah, we see Hiryu now going in for a V. We see a Battlemaster Crusader exchange
duking around the oil. Fantastic micro Opsnyder actually duking around that Crusader tank. So now we are seeing a Rockvi come out, which is going to be very good at actually dealing with any of these Battlemasters, but the Raptor is once again,
I'd say Opsnyder definitely looking for some dozers there, but yeah, being a bit fairly unsuccessful.
Had they been Gatling tanks though, they would have taken down by these Crusader tanks anyway. And the interesting thing about the Nuke Battlemasters in 1.6 is they've kind of changed a bit, because in this they actually counter Rockvies quite well, whereas then Crusader tanks counter Gatlings. So there's kind of a system where you build Rockvies against Crusaders, but then you build Gatlings against Rockvies.
Which is fairly interesting, yeah. Hiryu's got actually some good map awareness now with a tank, with a Paladin in the middle, and Crusaders on each side, which means he can build up without too much worry about what's going to come for him right away.
So there are two Gatling tanks pushing through the middle from Opsnyder. He's actually duking around these Paladin tanks. The Raptor just threw past those Gatlings. Uh-oh, that would have died if those Gatlings were not having a command already. Meanwhile, the Rockvies and the Crusader tanks are pushing through. There's another Raptor taking out that overlay. It's getting so many kills. That Raptor's definitely paying off.
Really betting up, but we do see the Gatling tanks moving in to harass the Chinooks finally, pushing them off, and he's probably going to lose that one, and loses...
Ooh, almost that one goes down, but he's going to have to catch up with these Paladins. Unfortunately, Paladins are quite a lot slower. Meanwhile, down the bottom here, we actually did see those Rockvies take out those two Battlemasters, and the reason why that worked is because of that Crusader tank. He actually mixed in that Crusader with the Rockvi, and the reason why that was so successful is because he actually used the Crusader tank to soak the damage from those Battlemasters while the Rockvies were there dealing their damage. So actually by mixing the two units together, they were doing a lot better than if he had just built one of them, one type of them.
We see an Overlord protecting Opsnyder's base while he pushes it to the other supply with his Gatlings up top into Hiryu's base.
Oh man, those Gatling tanks are definitely paying off. I mean, Rockvies, you still need them to actually deal with Gatling tanks, just because Crusader tanks and Paladins are actually slower than Gatlings.
We see an ECM tank here, which doing a good job of deflecting the rockets from the Rockfee, but is fairly low on health. Really need to mix that in with the
Rockfee is actually being
nice.
slowed down by the tank, so that was bad positioning there because he lost the Rockfee because he was caught behind that Crusader tank.
Bit unfortunate there, but the Gats have been taking it out in Hiryu's base. So.
There's Paladin. So back to mining now on Hiryu, but meanwhile he is actually losing quite a fair bit of funds because of the dozes, the Chinooks that he lost, and also the fact that it delayed his mining time.
Very true. And we do see, Opsnyder has been mining from all three suppliers unharassed, as far other than the small harassed at the bottom. So 4 suppliers now, I see. Very aggressive mining there from Opsnyder, but it's really good. It would be good if he can really balls out troops and doesn't float. Obviously, he won't.
And another Helix as well, so we are going to need to see either some Avengers or perhaps even Raptors to deal with these Helixes. Raptors are the ideal thing against Helixes because they're so fast, whereas Avengers, they will obviously counter Helixes, but not very well because they're just way too slow. You can just really avoid them and position yourself around the Avengers.
I see Black Lotus capping the bottom oil, why Hiryu hasn't actually capped his oil yet.
Yeah, getting even more funds in for Opsnyder, but the Helix is actually going to be almost engaging the Rockfees, but no backing off. Good work there. Might actually want to see the tower missile upgrade go down to deal with that Helix.
We see some ECM tanks and an Overlord in the middle, probably getting ready to push through or something like that. Yeah, again, we should... 2 Raptors is a really good counter to a Helix, they will take it out immediately.
I mean, even Overlords. I think it takes 3 Raptors to kill an Overlord, but then that's without ECMs. You can't kill Raptors. You can't kill Overlords with Raptors if there's ECM tanks there. But interesting enough, Paladin tanks. I'm actually not sure why he's going for Paladins as opposed to Crusaders.
Fairly interesting choice there, as they are more expensive and you don't really gain a lot.
Yeah, they have more health, but the main thing is point laser defense, which isn't going to be much of a benefit against the China army because they don't have any rockets apart from the Helix. But Paladins still, there's no point building Paladins against Helixes. I mean, unless maybe he's trying to factor in listening post, then that will be a very, very good counter.
Black Lotus coming in, probably going to cap the top oilers in addition. So Opsnyder really getting in some massive economy here, and this could go very badly for Hiryu.
2 bunker Helixes, that's going to be very strong. I definitely would like to see some Raptors, but even Avenger tanks are going to be good, because especially when you combine them with the point laser defense from Paladins, and they will do even better.
Black Lotus will manage to cap that top oil, with the Helix taking out that Crusader tank up the top.
So much damage.
Wow,
the Paladins are actually engaging, and the Paladins are going to be fantastic against these ECMs because they will not deflect their rockets, and now with those ECM tanks down, the Rockfees will absolutely rip through those.
Now we see the Helix is coming in, they're kiting away from the Rockfees, but Rockfees are engaging them as well at the same time. All 3 Helix are staying alive at the moment.
Positioning himself very well.
Yeah.
The tower missiles have such long range and air, but they do not do much damage at all compared to the actual rocket troops inside of it.
We see some laser locking here. That's probably going to take down the Overlord. Massive amounts of rockets coming out. Overlord does go down.
Without those ECMs, they are so vulnerable. Ooh. Lotus did actually go down to the spy drone with those Rockfees there.
Good to see spy drone being built now. He knows that Black Lotus was in that top corner.
Yeah, so actually Opsnyder, having lost quite a lot of units, he still has all his these what are they called, Helixes though, so that's going to be very good there. Good work here, actually ejecting those Overlords, but without the ECMs, they're being absolutely ripped through by these rocket soldiers. You really need ECMs, otherwise the Overlords are so exposed.
Really good to see those evacs and laser locking, really good use of Rockfees there, and using the missile troops inside them, obviously.
Yeah, so another forward oil from Opsnyder, so he definitely has a big income advantage, apart from the fact that he did just lose this forward trucks here. That's still not a big deal, and actually Hiryu taking these garrisons to ward off that Overlord tank.
I would like to see maybe Opsnyder pushing in with those Helixes around the back of Hiryu's base, trying to harass the Chinooks and stuff like that. That'd be handy.
A stealth bomber coming in. Looks like that's going to actually take out that ECM. There we go. The stealth bombers will hard counter and actually take down his ECMs. Good work there.
Really effective.
Because you cannot rely on rockets to try and muscle your way through ECMs, because they get deflected way too much. That Helix actually almost dying.
Really should see that Helix backed off again.
Oh, it might die now if he actually micros that correctly. Probably shouldn't have laser locked. Yes, it does go down. And actually that prop tower Overlord, Helix almost dying as well because of the splash damage from those rocket troops.
Good, like trying to move the damage east. Helix v Rockfee. Helix survives, didn't manage to evac in time there.
That's actually a weird spot for a supply drop zone. It is very exposed. Do you think he'd move it towards the back of his base more often?
But is he, Hiryu also destroying the top oil, which is going to damage Opsnyder's economy a bit. And a nuke cannon went down there as well.
So Rockfees,
yeah, Rockfee's moving in.
The perfect counter to nuke launch, because they're just so fast that it's very hard to hit them if you're actually paying attention with your movement.
Okay, top wall does go down as well as the left war factory of
Oh,
Opsnyder's.
four MiGs.
Four
Uh-oh.
MiGs. MiGs be nuts.
That's going to absolutely rip through these rock Vs. Will it be able to get them down? Oh, it almost didn't.
One rock V goes down.
Yeah, the reason why
it
only takes 3 MiGs to absolutely rip through one, but the problem was because those Humvees were actually moving at full speed, it means the missiles do not impact well enough. The only reason why that one died was because it stopped moving. So you can avoid MiGs if you keep moving your rock Vs.
Is Hiryu throwing down another supply drop zone on that right?
No, that's a
fire base, which is good.
Good
getting
choice
a bit of defense in there.
So 2 Overlords, 2 ECM. That's going to be a very strong thing to deal with unless he can use the stealth bombers to rip through those ECMs. So that's very good use of stealth bombers there.
Really
because
effective.
Paladin tanks, wouldn't do it because Overlords and rocket troops will just gun them down before they get within range.
We do see an Avenger coming out from here as well. That's going to hopefully force off the
helixes,
laser locks here from the rocket troops. They're going to manage to take down that
out of
Overlord.
position, but the MiGs are being shot down.
Rocked. That's an excellent choice building an Avenger there. That's going to do a lot of damage. Stop the air of Opsnyder, his helixes and his MiGs.
Yeah, not only was it actually damaging those helixes very heavily, but it was also preventing those MiG missiles from actually landing and impacting. Now the stealth bombers. So the stealth bombers are just ripping through all of these ECM tanks. He's using them very good there. And now the Rockies will actually engage on this unprotected Overlord, but it will take a lot of damage.
Be careful.
Not
he lost 2
microing them
Rockies
correctly.
there.
Yeah.
Really
Actually,
should
maybe they were
all
empty.
those
I'm
away.
not sure.
Yeah, not sure.
What he should have done was actually position the Paladin tank in front, so the Paladin will soak up the damage, which they have quite a lot of health. So that's actually a very good way of dealing with Overlords is by once again mixing in your units and then microing them so the Paladin tank is in front.
Opsnyder bringing in his helixes into the middle, but there's an Avenger there. Oh no, MiGs moving in. Lost another 2 MiGs there, and Helix is going down. That Avenger's really going really well against
Black Lotus is exposed and actually gets taken down by a stealth bomber. So that was a bit of mad miss micro there, actually keeping them on the one spot. And that's stealth bombers are so terrible against most things. You saw the damage the stealth bomber did against Overlord. Absolutely nothing. You really need Raptors or even Auroras to actually deal with tanks. Stealth bombers are only good against ECMs. Base defenses and garrisons if you the bunker buster upgrade.
Okay, we do see some economy going down here from
another MiG go down.
Another
almost.
MiG. No, MiG survives. That Avenger's really ripping through the MiGs, being really effective in stopping
Sure
the air.
is paying
Here
off.
we see
Yeah,
an 18 airstrike coming in.
What's that going to do? Oh no, the airfield!
Not the MiGs. Poor
There goes
MiGs.
all of those MiGs. So definitely
That's
that
4
was
MiGs down in the airfield. That's a big economic blow for Opsnyder. He might have to rebuild that if he wants some more MiGs.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's investing so heavily in these MiGs though. The stealth bombers actually are taking out the nukes just because they are so weak.
Yeah, stealth bombers are really effective at taking out low health units. They're doing really well there, so it's a good build choice there.
The other thing he could do, he actually use these stealth bombers to take down the Gatling cannon. So 2 stealth bombers will take down any base defense structure apart from tunnels. They don't technically count as base defense structures.
Here we see a Paladin tank moving into range of the Overlord, survives at the moment. That is a bet 2 at the moment, and we see Avengers there as well. So this is going to be an interesting little engagement here.
But once again, there is actually no ECM tank, so he could lose this to some laser lock if he's out of position, which it looks like he is. That garrison's actually paying off quite well, taking down these trucks as they are trying to mine.
Okay, we see a bit of a push here coming in from Opsnyder. He's moving his Overlord in and along with his rocket troops. So yeah, interestingly, we don't see another ECM. I guess he's a bit scared of those stealth bombers at the moment.
Yeah,
so.
no, and I can't blame him either. Lotus is here as well now, and with that Lotus, he can disable those Avengers. And when the Avengers are disabled, they will not be able to deflect those missiles. So the Rockies are engaging now. The Overlord tanks are trying to return fire, and because there's so much range, and look at that, we have chemical suits going down from Hiryu. That's such a good idea because it will actually make them immune to the nuclear radiation damage.
Really, laser lock, they're taking down an Overlord. They can't really do a lot here because there's no ECM, so laser locks are doing a lot of damage.
That heroic Paladin is actually going to be very strong.
Yeah.
Now, the Nuke cannon might actually do some damage to his Rockvies though if he lands the shell.
Lands the shot.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh, 3 Rockvies go down.
3 Rockvies, an
shot.
Avenger,
We'll
and
see
a
another
Paladin.
shot here.
Stealth bombers are taking out what they
Stealth
can.
bombers moving in to take out the Nuke cannon. Wow.
So that was definitely Hiryu not paying attention there, but it was good use of Opsnyder trying to transition into a new cannon to actually deal with that damage. The cluster mines are going down, but it won't do any damage. I think it's trying to take care of that Vet 2 Rockvie.
Oh, that was a really interesting exchange. Excellent shot there, popping out a Nuke cannon. Really effective, especially when there's a big unit push and you can just control, click, just force fire and take out a lot of units at once. So.
Opsnyder still has had these 2 helixes the entire game, so it's actually doing quite well, keeping them alive and not throwing them away. Because we all know how much I'm pretty bad at keeping my helixes alive. Oh, Carpet Bomb though, it's actually going to land on a lot of those units there, taking them out.
Oh, taking out 3 rocket troops, a Paladin and a Rockvie. But I really like this helix push here from Opsnyder doing a lot of damage. I wanted to see some economic harass.
Does he have isotope? No, he doesn't have isotope.
isotope.
It will protect you from radiation, but will not protect you from nuclear explosions.
Funnily enough, you can see some rockfies coming in.
They might get caught out though by those helixes.
Caught out by the helixes.
Ouch.
Oh, both rockfies go down.
One thing I want to mention though regarding the stealth bombers is like they counter ECM overlords very hard because and the reason why that is because when you kill the overlord, the ECMs, the overlords cannot return fire because of how slow their Gatling turret rate is. You actually need Gatling tanks to deal with stealth bombers because they aim a lot faster. So we are seeing Pathfinders now.
Interesting choice. We're going to take out the rocket troops of Opsnyder if he chooses to build some.
Not that I actually have seen many though. He
didn't use it. He only used them once really, and we see the first hacker coming down from Opsnyder.
That
Helix
goes
will go down
well.
to the rockfies. Out of position there.
The thing is with the tower missiles is that they have quite little damage, but they have just such long range that you can really just harass helixes without actually exposing yourself.
Here we see Hiryu also taking out the oil of Opsnyder. This is going to be a bit of an economic blow now that most of the supplies are getting mined out.
That was the nuke missile fired! We missed the nuke missile!
Oh, that makes me sad.
Whoops.
Whoops, okay, so that came down...
the MiGs. Are they nuke MiGs down?
MiGs.
Oh, they're nuke MiGs!
Nuke MiGs
well
are
done.
completely nuts, in case you're wondering, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here we see another A-10 airstrike, loving those airfields, taking it out again.
For the record, we don't actually have sound, so we cannot hear nuclear launch detected, that kind of thing. So please forgive us for missing that nuke.
So that will be that. That's one of not only you can get the nuke MiG upgrade from the nuke missile silo, which is the main reason people build them in these kind of games. Which
main reason I build
nuts.
nuke missiles.
This
is for
Ownage machine just loves them to bits.
I
cannot express how much he does love them.
See, look at this. The Gatling cannon turn rate was attacking Spider-Man, but it is too slow to actually reface and gun down the stealth bomb before it can actually get within. Before it re-stealth, sorry.
Oh, so, laser locks here from.
Focus down those missile defenders. Don't go for the power plant.
Oh no! That Gatling tank does not have a Gatling cannon upgrade, so Overlord does go down to those laser locks. Really nuts laser locking here from Hiryu. Yeah, it's going really well against the Overlords, especially when the you really need the Gatling tank Overlord to focus them down, focus down the.
Or maybe even just more ECMs, because he keeps losing the stealth bombers. So I'm not going to say, oh look at that Dragon tank! Well done, they're taking down the drop. That's excellent, because it's a lot cheaper than going for a full bunker licks. So meanwhile, the Rockfies will get caught out by that minefield actually. The MiGs might land and take it down if he needs to focus them before they land. Into the mines.
Into mines.
That was actually, good mine placement there before.
Nuke MiGs!
Whoa, the Pathfinder
that you just
flying off
saw,
the screen.
It was a Pathfinder flying right into our eyes. It hurt a little bit.
That's the other reason why I like Nuke MiG, not because of their damage, because of the fact that they make funny shit happen. So that Paladin tank is obviously not paying attention to what it's doing, because it's going to die. So these Nuke MiGs are going to be very difficult to deal with, unless... Oh yeah, the Flame tank, took out the power, and then that command center almost as well.
Yeah, managed to get that.
Did he actually lose the Helix though? Is the Helix still alive?
I believe it's dead.
Oh, bummer. So we are seeing several hackers on the floor now from Opsnyder trying to get in more funds as they can.
Here we see a carbon bomb coming in.
Oh no, the Vet 3 stealth bomber!
Oh!
That stealth bomber probably single-handedly
here we see a carbon bomber.
Fuel air bomb.
Fuel air bomb. There we go.
Taking down the MiGs and an A10 strike. So that was very devastating.
Good choice with the A10 strike. Focuses the barracks. Excellent work there. Yeah, doing a lot of damage and taking out a hacker and a wreck attack.
Not bad. Not bad.
All over the place. Oh, there's the Helix. It did survive. Lovely.
Prop tower. So this nuke cell is still there though, so if that can go for 2 minutes, he will actually be able to reuse his nuke missile, which we won't miss this time, we promise!
We will, I'll keep an eye on it this entire game.
So the RD is coming down, what's that going to land on? Probably that drop zone, I would imagine, unless it goes for the War Factory.
I think it might actually.
Either would be a good choice, yes.
Yeah, War Factory.
Almost the barracks there, so it's actually, I think it's turned around now. It's not looking good for Hiryu, because he's losing quite a lot of his base, because Opsnyder, he does have these hackers, he has the nuke silo, Paradrop, whoa, okay. I didn't miss that. Yeah, Paradrop is laser locking down the Helix, forcing him away. If he has capture, he can capture nuke silo, but he doesn't have capture, does he?
Oh, no. Lucky there. So that, yeah, we see the Helix moving in, taking out one rocket troop at a time. Fairly effective there. We're not seeing any laser locking or anything, so yeah, that Paradrop will go down.
Those Helix machine guns are so bad, but against 2 missile defenders, they will do just fine. Meanwhile, another Raptor now. The Raptor's going to take out, these nuke battle masters, as we just saw, as well as these Helixes if he gets 2 of them up.
It doesn't look like Hiryu's going to be able to get that nuke missile silo down in time, so in 50 seconds get ready for some yelling and screaming.
Because if he does actually lose the airfield, or maybe even the drop zone, then it could go very badly for him. Hiryu is trying to mine from these middle supplies, but here comes the Raptor now. Raptor's going to take out another Nuke MiG. Raptors are so good against Nuke MiGs, not only for their damage, but also the fact that if you have a group of Nuke MiGs and they're killed by Raptors, you generally don't have enough time to actually react and then split them up so you don't lose your damage to the isotope.
I believe he actually lost a Chinook there, Hiryu, to not watching.
Oh, the EMP bomb.
EMP.
Here comes a Helix now. Will that be able to take down the rocket? Probably not, because
of the Raptors. Oh, Raptor doing a lot of damage taking down that Helix well. So Vet 3 Raptors can pretty much take down a Helix, as we now discovered. That's really nuts.
It was because of the Tau missile though, but the Vet 3 gives them quite a fair bit of damage. Normally you definitely need 2 Raptors to take down a Helix. And also, if you get point laser defense, then I would not be surprised if the Vet 3 Raptor could single-handedly take down the Helix.
In addition, we see the Nuke MiG just fired.
Where's the missile?
Please, where is it?
Where is it?
Airfield, airfield. I reckon airfield. I'm gonna take a bet.
Where the hell is the nuke?
Where is the nuke? It fired like a second ago.
So using a nuclear missile to take down one Rockfy, probably not a bad thing, to be honest, because looking at Opsnyder's base, he would have probably lost those 2 Gatlings to one Rockfy. You know, it's not a hard thing to do, and then without that gone, he'll be out of the game.
Yeah, which is good, keeping his base alive, and so he can still use his General's point abilities. So.
Oh, it's that cover bomb? Gonna probably take out the supply zone,
which is good. Take out the copy of Hiryu. Yeah, that's all of it, I think. But he might have another one over to the right.
So meanwhile, Opsnyder does still have 2 of these hackers left, so he's getting a tiny bit of money, not a lot though. Whereas Hiryu, all he really has now are these 2 Chinooks and the Raptor. What's the Raptor going to do? The Raptor will not be able to take out the Gatling tanks though. Obviously, Gatling tanks are doing his Raptors.
Gatling tanks against the Raptors.
That's that Rockfy. That could probably do quite well.
Yeah, it is a Rockfy.
Raptor now.
Oh, Raptor not getting focused by the Gatlings.
Going for the dozer. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, even a Vet 3 does bugger all damage to a Gatling tank because their rocket resistance.
So we see the firebase maybe coming into effect finally.
Another paratroop drop. If he micros those missile defenders properly, he could take down some things with laser lock. As well as this Rockfy, which is pretty wounded though. He does need to repair that on his factory in order to keep that alive, or at least use a what is it called, repair drone thing? Because I'm not sure if he actually has the... Oh, the Raptor's engaging and will survive.
Raptor survives.
And that is because of that vet. If it weren't for that vet, he would have died easily. He would have died very, very easily. So now the Gatling is juking around this barracks, trying to try to avoid the laser lock from those missile defenders. Which, you look at that, good micro there.
Good micro there, moving, so the rocket troops have to move to the side and just managing to run them over.
But that Rockfy is still alive, despite how low health. I reckon if he takes this Rockfy down, I reckon Opsnyder has this game. He really needs to position it correctly, and micro get it down. Yes, it will, but the Raptor
comes in.
Wow.
And the V actually does survive. This is a really interesting game.
Yeah, with that Rockfy down, I mean, what can Opsnyder do? There's not much, is there? Look, he has a nuke silo.
He's saving it, so you think I don't know whether it's the best idea to sell it or just keep it for a nuke missile strike. He'd be really tossing up right now.
Yeah, here he is going for that Chinook drop with the Rangers, but Rangers by themselves cannot really achieve much at all. Oh, another cluster mines, actually camping that war factory. So now the moment he builds something, is going to actually lose those units there. You're going to need to get the dozer to actually clear the mines from that war factory. Another Gatling tank is approaching though. He might want to actually camp this. The Nuke Battlemaster trying to take out that Raptor, but have an A-10 strike.
Coming in, and that's probably going to take out something in Opsnyder's base. What are we going for, you reckon?
Probably, the A-10 strike as well is going to actually take down
and the power goes down
factory
as well.
And the power. So USA late game has stronger abilities. Did we see the Raptor go down though?
Raptor did go down. We see the little pilot there. Hopefully we'll see another Raptor build and he can chuck him in there.
Yeah, I mean, keeping that pilot alive is very important because then you can just rebuild your absolutely nuts Vet 3 Raptor. So now this Gatling tank, what does he got? He only has infantry. I reckon.
And he can't balls out any troops from the war factory because of the mines. So that's a really effective play there by Opsnyder.
So I think it's actually long distance mining. So not only does he have these 2 hackers, he also has these 3 trucks. So I think Opsnyder could actually use this to rebuild some troops now. But the firebase killed the Gatling. Whoops.
Ooh. Watch that micro.
I don't think... Oh, the Gatling tank taking the Chinook. Good work. They're denying the income.
So here we're having no real income.
Not looking
good. Either a carpet bomb.
Oh, there goes the Rangers taking down those hackers. There goes some of his income. But is that a carpet bomb? No, it's not a carpet bomb. So I think it's going to come down to Hiryu's command point's abilities. The fuel air bomb almost goes down. The fuel air bomb is such a weak plane. It's really easy to kill.
But you see an ID strike up the top as well. So that's going to take down the supply.
That goes down. So there goes his income now.
Artie Strike came in and took out, combined with a carbon bomb to take out the airfield. So that's really going to come down to General's abilities at the moment.
Yeah, and
it's always fun to see.
Unfortunately, late game USA is stronger. But we're actually seeing some Vet 3 firing like complete fully automatic rifles as opposed to the burst fire because the rate of fire is nuts. So three rangers and 2 missile defenders against a Gatling tank. How will this go? I think if he markers correctly, he could definitely take this down with the Gatling tank, but let's see how he actually manages to play it out. The Gatling tank is taking out what it can. It has to take out the rangers while avoiding the laser lock here. So we're actually seeing some more infantry go down from Hiryu, but he has no income at all.
0 income, so it's going to really come down to how well he can micro. And we're looking at here, see some laser locking. That's going to do a lot of damage to the Gatling tank. Will not actually go down though, but it's not really going to matter because if he moves it in again, he could use the trucks.
Die. The trucks might actually crush those infantry. We did see the Nuke be sold for the
we do see the trucks moving in completely uselessly. Oh, they're going to start running over infantry, and the Gat tank moves in to do a lot of damage there, but the Rangers are actually going to take down the Gat tank.
Rangers.
They are nuts!
Vet 3 Rangers kill Gatling tanks, apparently. So good use there, trying to use the trucks, but unfortunately the Gatling tank was too weak.
Chucking down a barracks there, I think, for, just Ford Supply there.
Ford Supply, yeah. I think
Opsnyder
maybe
trying to get some more money.
If he used the dozer as well, he might have killed his infantry, but then he lost his dozer, so that was a bit of a gamble. So yeah, we're going to have to see maybe like a carpet bomb to take down these infantry. So he's getting very desperate here for Opsnyder, which is very unfortunate because it was looking good until all of those general powers were absolutely ripping through.
Opsnyder's really going to have to keep that command center alive because his general abilities is keeping them in the game at the moment.
They're doing such little damage, and the truck dozer is actually repairing through it, trying to get the laser lock. There's nowhere to run to. You can't run.
And Dozer does go down. Supply truck will go down. So this is really good defense, using the missile defenders to defend from vehicles here.
Yeah, Opsnyder being on the ball here, but no, you cannot take out a missile defender with one truck by itself. You definitely have to mix in units. So meanwhile, I think... Oh, EMP bomb.
It was an EMP bomb to take down the
I think definitely at this stage, it's going to come down to general points. Maybe Opsnyder can actually get some really clutch general powers, and he should be right. What is this, a carpet bomb? Nope. Oh, mines. Alright.
But they're probably not going to move. They can't move. It's not going to matter. Yeah. So that command center does look like it's going to go down.
He doesn't have enough money. Whoa, please camera. Just get rid of the camera. What have I done? Yeah.
He didn't have money. Defeated. And we see another drop coming in. Yeah, that was interesting game.
Yeah, pretty good game. Yeah, definitely. Opsnyder had that early game very hard there. But I think in the end, Hiryu, he ended up pushing that around because he used his units like in the exact situations. Like normally. Overlord ECMs, like normally people just try and spam a whole bunch of Rockvies and take that down. And that's not so strong in 1.6 because of the increased armor that Overlords have. And it comes down to kind of luck of if you can get through all of those ECMs, with the laser locking. But and then the other option is to build tanks, which doesn't really work because Overlord tanks are a lot better than your tanks, especially combined with the ECMs. So it was actually really good using the stealth bombers to take down those ECMs, which definitely allowed his Rockvies to absolutely rip through those unprotected Overlord tanks.
Yeah, really good game. You see, Opsnyder did, of course, have the economic advantage, having collected 30,000 more supplies than Hiryu, but just Hiryu just using his units much more effectively.
Yeah.
So they I really like the stealth bombers taking out the ECMs. Really effective moves there to trying to take away the defenses of the Overlords. They're moving in with the Lazox. Just really good unit combos that he did really well. But yeah, Opsnyder doing a pretty good job early game, definitely pushing Hiryu back. So yeah.
Yeah, it's also the same with mixing in the tanks and the Rockvies for maximum efficiency because of the tank's armor soaking up all the damage while the Rockvies were actually dealing it. Because, yeah, definitely Opsnyder, he should have got some Gatling tanks to deal with stealth bombers as opposed to just Overlord ECMs. Yeah. But it definitely, Opsnyder played really well. He was a good player. So, shout out to both of them. And that's it for today's episode of...
The General's Gentleman.
General's Gentleman. Goodbye.